Welcome everybody to Intensity Broadcasting. My name is Josh Hall. This is the Doghouse Racing League Tuesday night ARCA series brought to you by Trackside NASCAR Outlet. Getting ready for race number 5 here tonight from EchoPark Speedway. It's going to be a great one here tonight. Looking forward to this great race. Especially as always, we've got the chat open for you. A little bit of super speedway racing for you guys here tonight. River Weldon currently at the top of the leaderboard, but speed is not going to be the key factor here in practice or qualifying. It's going to be like every other super speedway. It's going to be whether or not you have friends, who's there to work with you at the end. It's going to be a great one here tonight. A little bit different of a race as well. The pit road here at Atlanta Motor Speedway actually starts right there on the backstretch. So they actually have to get down the pit road speed or get down to the entrance of pit road there as soon as they get down off of turn number 4. So it's going to be interesting here, especially for some green flag pit stops here tonight. And as always, a little bit of a super speedway type racing. These drivers will be full throttle around the racetrack here tonight. A lot of tight racing. We saw in practice already a couple big wrecks with 3-wide racing. Some even trying to get a little 4-wide racing in. So these ARCA cars draft really well. They push really well. They take pushes really well. This is going to be an exciting race to watch here tonight. 85 laps will be the distance. The stage will be at lap 23. That is wrong. Lap 43. And let's take a look at our points coming in tonight. We see Justin McMahon has taken over the points lead from Raymond Rittenor. Nathan Lawrence up into the 3rd position. Hunter Simpson jumps up 4 spots in the 4th. Jonathan Smith drops back 2 spots. Mike Leftwich jumps up in the 7th. Jackson Sibley falls back 2 spots in the 6th. And then you got Kevin Hash, Mark Dumont, and Christopher Simon, your top 10. Big move for Mark Dumont, up 5 spots. Biggest mover, though, Jason Ross up in the 15th. I will leave this on the screen so you can see where your favorite driver is currently in the point standings. So again, just a few minutes left here in practice, about 3 minutes here in practice, and we're seeing some drafting practice underway. Drivers getting lined up here, trying to see what they can do, getting themselves around the racetrack in a line. Just like all drafting tracks, 2 cars will work better than 1, 3 cars will work better than 2. The more cars you can get lined up, the faster that line's going to go. But you can't push on those cars too long. We'll take a look here off the back of Stephen Bonomo's car. And you see that little inlet right there underneath where it says Chevy SS or Chevrolet SS. That is all the air that gets into these cars. So the closer they get, and the more tucked up they get underneath, while it makes the cars much faster, you're going to have a lot of that air getting down into that, or losing a lot of air that gets down into that inlet to cool these cars off. So we've seen engines blow here before from drivers pushing it too long. Could we see that here tonight? It's going to be a lot of different strategies here tonight, I think, as well, with that stage being where it is. I think it's going to play into how this race is raced as well. And oh, there's some contact there as Jamie Horn goes up into the outside wall. We spoke to Jamie Horn last week. He says that he is not a fan of super speedway racing, so his problem is just being able to get to the end of these races. We got about 1.5 minutes left here in practice, so we'll be watching for that. Please let me know if you're having any issues with the stream. I did get a notification that I do have some frames skipping here and there, so please let me know if the stream looks good on your end. I would gladly appreciate it. Of course, we've got about 1 minute left here of practice before we get racing underway. You see, this is the pit road that these drivers have to take down off of turn number 4 until they hit the actual pit road speed right there. But they must enter on the backstretch in order to get down on the pit road. His name we haven't seen in a while, Michael Samia in the 79. He's in that 79 Cheetos machine. Bill Gentry in this group as well. And we see the 88. I believe that is Josh Cully. Yes, it is. In that SVG inspired 88. Awesome to see SVG switching numbers next year to the 97. A number that's brought a lot of memories for that entire family. So as a student of the sport and someone who loves watching all sorts of motorsports, really awesome to see that as that is not the way to enter pit road, that's for sure. So just a little quick driver's meeting. The drivers are being told not to qualify below that red line. They have to be up above that red line all the way around the racetrack here. So we'll be watching for that here in qualifying. See first drivers making their way onto the racetrack, getting ready to qualify. There's Ray Rittenor. Looks like Mark Dumont's the first driver to get rolling. Nathan Lawrence also out on the racetrack. Gary Amio rolling out there tonight. Mike Leftwich getting his way out onto the racetrack. Mike Leftwich, very, very good super speedway racer. I expect to see him up towards the front here tonight. See Bonomo in that Hooters machine. So almost the entire field making their way out onto the racetrack at the moment. Tyler Millette already showing a little bit of speed here, just getting off onto pit road. It tells me who the fastest drivers are getting off of pit road and onto the racetrack. And Millette just jumped up to the top of the leaderboard, so I expect him to put down a fast lap here as he's coming down to the start-finish line. Gary Amio has already set his first lap, so did Nathan Lawrence and Mike Leftwich. Jamie Horn is going to jump up into the 4th position as River Weldon goes to the top of the leaderboard currently. Gary Amio, the first driver, is going to come down and set a lap as Nathan Lawrence goes up to the top of the leaderboard. Mike Leftwich is going to jump ahead of him. Hunter Simpson goes 4th quickest currently, as Jamie Horn jumps up in the 3rd on his 2nd lap. Here's Tyler Millette coming down the backstretch on his 2nd lap. As Millette comes down across the stripe. And he does not improve on his lap. He's going to go 11th quickest. 2 minutes left in qualifying. Here is your second in points, Ray Rittenor, who was your points leader last week. Lost it last week to Justin McMahon. McMahon on the end of pit road, getting ready to get his qualifying attempt underway. Rittenor's first lap is going to be good enough for 19th, the slowest driver on the racetrack here. He's getting that car wound up here for his 2nd lap, keeps it right down on that red line. Comes down the backstretch into turn number 3. Can anybody knock Mike Leftwich off the pole here tonight with about a minute left here in qualifying? as Rittenauer comes down across the stripe. And he's going to jump up to the top of the leaderboard, so he's going to be the one to bounce Mike Leftwich off the pole. Michael Dow out on the racetrack right now, getting his final laps underway. Coming through turns 3 and 4. Down towards the stripe. And Michael Dow is going to jump up into the 15th position. Again, we have Justin McMahon sitting on the end of pit road, but he is not going to get a qualifying attempt underway since we only have about 20 seconds left here in qualifying. Again, I am getting some notifications here on my screen that the stream is skipping, so please let me know if you have any issues with the stream. Please let me know here in the chat so I know if I need to fix anything on my end. But we are getting ready for qualifying has officially come to an end. So let's take a look at our starting grid here tonight. Ray Rittenauer in the 87 will be your pole sitter. Mike Leftwich will roll off in second, just 9/1000ths of a difference between first and second. Nathan Lawrence back in third with Christopher Simon rolling off from the 4th spot. Brandon Lopez and Jamie Horn make up row number 3. Row 4 will be Gary Amio with Jackson Sibley in the 8th position, and then the 5, Hunter Simpson and Brandon Trush round out your top 10. Michael Samia in the 79 roll off in the 11th position with Ken Byers in the 99 back in 12th. 13th will be River Weldon in the 55 with Tyler Millette rolling off from the 14th position. 15th is Michael Dow with Matthew Smith in the 82 rolling off from the 16th spot. Stephen Bonomo and Mark Dumont will make up row 9 with Richard Leclerc and Jason Ross rounding out your top 20. Andrew St. Cyr back in the 12 machine in the 21st spot. Josh Cully back in 22nd. Kevin Thompson rolls off 23rd with Justin McMahon starting in 24th. Actually, we've got more to go here. 25th will be Adam Gardner with Daniel Wilkerson back in 26th. Chris Leftwich 27th. And rounding out the field here tonight, Bill Gentry in the 4 as we get ready for the Trackside NASCAR Outlet ARCA series here at EchoPark Speedway. Of course, Trackside NASCAR Outlet is your authorized Lionel dealer with a full line of diecast, including Cup, O'Reilly's, truck and driver apparel, hats, and jackets. Trackside NASCAR Outlet offers everything NASCAR, including full-size and mini helmets, flags, and coolers. Stop by and check out their store, follow them on Facebook, or check out their website at www.tracksidenascaroutlet.com. And yes, I did update that to have the correct sponsor for next year. As we all know, it's going to be the O'Reilly series next year. Of course, both Intensity and Doghouse Racing League are both great partners of Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is an established and trusted leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. Check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out what's right for you. Visit thebuttkicker.com. Of course, don't forget to check out the Doghouse Racing League's website as well for all stats, standings, news, and more. Link down below at doghouseracingligue.com. Finally, if you're a small-time race team looking for some swag or you want to pick up some of Ali Atman Weiss's racing gear as well, head on over to intensityracing.com. We've got get a quote today if you're a small-time race team, or like I said, check out some of Atlee's gear. You can find hats, t-shirts. We've got some novelty stuff over there as well. So check it all out over at intensityracing.com. As the field making their way into turn number 4, pace car getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn down on the pit road. And Ray Rittenauer going to lead him down to the EchoPark starting zone where the green flag will fly, and we are racing here at EchoPark Speedway. And a great jump for Ray Rittenauer right off the bat. So they make their way down into turns 1 and 2 for the first time. Mike Leftwich kind of hung up on the outside as Nathan Lawrence is going to move up into the second position off the tail of the 87 of Ray Rittenor. As they come down the backstretch for the first time, we got cars up in the outside wall a little further back. That looked like, believe that was the 82 of Matthew Smith. Yep, Matthew Smith back up into the outside wall yet again. These cars do not handle the dirty air very well, so we'll be watching for these cars to get a little pushy, especially as the race goes on. We might see these cars get a little bit harder to control. Right now, though, everybody kind of just 2x2 behind our front three, as Brandon Lopez has moved up into the third spot with Jamie Horn right there on the back bumper. Bottom lane's got all the energy right now, as that lane is the one that's moving. That top lane led by Mike Leftwich. Falling back right behind him, he's got his teammate Christopher Simon and Jackson Sibley right behind as well, as we see Hunter Simpson having a little connection issue there, blinking out a little bit. That top lane has a lot of strong cars and a lot of good super speedway drivers, but right now they're just not hooked up as well as that bottom lane. So that bottom lane is the one that is currently moving. Way up the racetrack, we saw Mike Leftwich go. That's going to kill the momentum more on that high side. As the 18 of Sibley took a look down to the inside of Christopher Simon, thought better of it. Didn't want to make it 3 wide this early in the race, and we continue on. Back up front, the bottom pack is clear, 6 cars back with Gary Omeo. And now being challenged by Mike Leftwich up on that high side. Is that high lane now starting to get something rolling? As they're back to the outside of Hunter Simpson. These drivers are pretty much full throttle all the way around the racetrack. As we ride along here with Mike Leftwich. You hear these drivers not lifting, just staying flat-footed all the way around the racetrack. If we go a little further back, though, you can see the hornet's nest that Richard Leclerc is in back here. Oh, he is having a little bit. We got one. Oh, they're wrecking right here in front. A great view there as they're able to get through it. That looked like it was... trying to figure out who that was that had the issues there. That was a 00 of Jason Ross having some issues. Let's see if I can see where that started here. Looked like it might have started back here with Mike Leftwich. Oh, wow. Mike Leftwich got completely sideways. A ton of damage there for Jackson Sibley as well. Let's go back and look at this one again. We're going to go find... It looked like a little bit of net code right there. That is the issues that happened right there. The 23 caught up in that one as well. So now we've got 2 distinct packs. As Mike Leftwich, who had a little bit of damage, but it looks like he has gotten that. It doesn't look like it's affecting that car too much. Leads that bottom line. We see the 00 of Jason Ross. He is a couple laps down. He's actually 5 laps down, trying to lead the high lane, being pushed there by the 99 of Ken Byers. But this group right here needs to get single file if they want any chance of catching back up to this lead group, who is currently single file, with Ray Rittenor, who's led every lap since the drop of the green flag, as we are 10 laps in. So as we come to finish lap number 10 here, Ray Rittenor has been your leader since the drop the green flag. And as I mentioned, we'll pull up this track map for a second so you can see pretty much everybody is single file in two distinct groups. Last driver in this group right here is Tyler Millette. And then you got to go back almost 4 seconds back to Richard Leclerc, who's leading this mess back here. And again, they don't want to be double file like that. They really need to get single file here if they want any chance of trying to catch this front group. So we can see this, those three cars there led by Mike Leftwich starting to pull away here. It's Mike Leftwich. Oh, caution is out. Big wreck here on the front stretch. Samia involved in this one. Steven Bonomo caught up in this one as well. And that's going to bring up our first wreckage rewind of the night. And this one happened for a while before the caution actually came out. See, up in front of River Weldon there, we see River Weldon gets up into the outside wall. Oh, more net code there as Samia got the net code that time. A lot of damage there to the 55 of River Weldon. Samia, a ton of damage to that car as well. Let's go back to where this kind of all started. I'm going to rewind this just a little bit more, and we're going to focus on Samia this time. And you'll see below the 5 disappears. And when he reappears, before he even reappears, that 79 is gone around. And that is just a classic case of netcode. Just not knowing where those drivers are on the racetrack. It looks like Christopher Simon got a bunch of damage in that one as well. So that's going to bring the entire field down pit road, except for 3 drivers. 3 drivers did not pit. Nathan Lawrence, Mark Dumont, and Matthew Smith stay out on the racetrack. Everybody else comes down pit road. Seeing if they're calling out there, see if anybody's going to claim for that one. And doesn't sound like anybody is. And if I was out there, I know the league I run is a claim it league where if you cause an accident, you call it out, you go to the end of the field. If not, after the race, there can be some penalties involved. So Nathan Lawrence, going to be your leader here as the pace car going to come across the start-finish line. This time by, I believe we'll see the lights on the pace car come off. There they go. Lights are off on the pace car, and Lawrence going to choose the inside lane. That's going to put Mark Dumont up on the high side. Row 2 will be Matthew Smith and Ray Rittenor. Brandon Lopez, Hunter Simpson going to be back in row number 3. Then we'll find Michael Dow and Tyler Millette back in row 4. Chris Leftwich and Jackson Sibley going to round out your top 10. So as the field gets ready to go back, green flag racing. That is caution number 1 of the night. Remember, if we get 2 cautions before our stage break on lap 43, then we will not have a caution at the stage. We'll just pay the caution, the stage points. But if we don't have another caution before at lap 43, then the caution will come out at the conclusion of lap 43 as the pace car makes its way down on the pit road. Nathan Lawrence going to lead him down to the EchoPark restart zone, where the green flag will fly yet again. We are back racing here at Atlanta. A great jump for Nathan Lawrence, almost too good of a jump here, as he's going to have some cars lined up. Although they're going to line right up on the back bumper. As we hear Michael Samia telling everybody he's going to stay high, he is definitely broke and up on that high lane. The field's going to safely make their way around the injured machine of Michael Samia, who's currently running in the 25th position. As the field makes their way down to cross the stripe to complete lap number 17. Again, we're seeing a lot of single file racing right now. Everybody's kind of getting lined up as quickly as they can. Hunter Simpson right there to the inside of Mark Dumont. As Dumont's the first car up on the high side, followed by Tyler Millette in the 6 of Kevin Thompson. It seems like the servers kind of calmed down a little bit on my end. It said I was skipping frames earlier in the race. Looks like everything has smoothed itself out on my end, so I think it might have been just a little bit of a connection issue in the iRacing server, actually, that was causing that, but we are good to go as we see Ray Rittenor caught down on the inside. He is back in the 7th position. Led every lap before that caution came out. Now he's trying to work his way back up to the front, but right now in the middle of the traffic jam, just nowheres to go. We got 3 wide racing. Oh, Dumont up into the outside wall. He's going to get shuffled back on that high side. It's going to tuck down in front of the 99 of Ken Byers. A little further back, we're starting to see this second line and even third line as we see Kevin Thompson caught up on that high side up there. Top line currently being led by the 94 of Tyler Millette. As you see Kevin Thompson way in the back there, falling all the way back into the 18th position, trying to get out of the bit of a hornet's nest up there. We see our points leader, Justin McMahon, started at the tail of the field, starting to work his way up through the field now. He is up into the 20th position. Looks like he's just trying to keep himself out of trouble currently. Up at the front, though, Nathan Lawrence continues the lead over Brandon Lopez, Hunter Simpson, Ray Rittenor, and Matthew Smith. Your top five. Yep, they're coming up on, it looks like Michael Samia again. You see him still broke, staying up on the high side here. We'll focus on him as the field comes on by. A little sketchy there, 3 wide. Oh, a little contact there, it looked like, between Dumont and Samia. Samia had to hit the wall a little bit to avoid the contact. They're able to get around yet again. And we'll put that track map up on the screen for a moment here so we can see that we've got that pack pretty much all together again. We've got a little separation in the back, but for the most part, the whole field together except for this group here. Andrew St. Cyr, Kevin Thompson, Adam Gardner, Richard Leclerc in this group here as well. Now we're starting to see some action here at the front as the entire field starting to get too wide. That top lane being led by, oh, that is the 83 of Chris Leftwich. No surprise to see him trying to lead that top lane here at a super speedway. Again, pushed by the 88 of Josh Cully. Leftwich now to the outside of Hunter Simpson and continuing that march on the high side. What a run that we're seeing from this 83 of Chris Leftwich. He is now outside of Brandon Lopez, fighting for the second position. Now we might see our lead change here, our first lead change under green, as Cully and Dumont, Ken Byers, Mike Leftwich up on that high side. Jamie Horn up there as well, trying to push Chris Leftwich up to the lead here on lap number 30. Daniel Wilkerson doing a great job. He's hanging on to the back of this pack. Meanwhile, that second group starting to gain a little bit on the group ahead. You see that delta kind of it comes and goes as the race goes on. Actually, it's the wrong driver to be looking at here. It is St. Cyr. There we go. That delta is shrinking ever so slightly. Now 2.3. Dropping down to 2.2. There it is. They're trying to get everything going here up in the back here. Oh, we got one driver peeling down on the pit road. That's Mark Dumont. As we're seeing this pit road for the first time under green. Long way down around turns 3 and 4. You can go as fast as you want up until you come to the yellow cone. Right here, you have to be down to pit road speed. And our leader pitting down this time as well. Looks like he's going to have somebody coming down with him as well. That looks like is that the 83? Trying to see who that is that's here with the 97. That is actually Ray Rittenor coming down as well. I think that's Ray Rittenor. I'm trying to see who... nope, I lied again. It's Matthew Smith in the 82. So at least coming down together, trying to get a drafting partner. Hopefully they're able to pick somebody up as they're coming off the pit road. Meanwhile, the battle for the lead spot is heating up here between Chris Leftwich and Brandon Lopez. Oh no, Nathan Lawrence, black flag, too fast on pit road. And unless the caution was to come out pretty soon, he is going to be in a bit of trouble here. Hopefully, he might be able to try to get himself back onto the lead lap with a couple lucky dogs. But meanwhile, the lead of the race goes to Chris Leftwich, who's immediately challenged by the 88 of Josh Cully. As they come up on the first car leaving pit road right there. Or sorry, that is a damaged car, 27 of Christopher Simon. Field going to try to make their way around that 21. As they make their way past the lap car cleanly. Inching closer and closer to our stage break. Chris Leftwich out in front. Now we see Kenneth Byers leading that high lane. Getting a push here from Gary Romeo. Trying to get him up the front. Ooh, big wiggle there out of, I believe that was Ray Rittenor. It was Ray Rittenor in the middle there. Behind Hunter Simpson. Got a little loose there beneath Jamie Horn. Washed up the track a little bit. Able to save it though. But this great battle for the lead and the stage win heating up. So we are just a few laps away from the stage end. Now Ken Byers going to take over the lead with a push from Gary Amio up into the front. Now he's got nothing. Chris Leftwich has nothing to do but push on that 99 as he does. He gets the 99 a little out of shape, has to check up. Gary Amio, gets a bump from behind. He gets out of shape. That's going to check up that entire high line. How about Daniel Wilkerson up into the 8th spot? Up 18 positions from where he started today. And continues to march his way through the field. As now we got Gary Amio going for the lead up on the high side with a push from the 23 of Brendan Trush. And everybody did come down pit road on lap 23. I'm sorry, on lap 13. So they should be able to make it to the end here of the stage, which is 2 laps away. Pit road has been closed. Now we see slicing and dicing in the middle of the pack as Brandon Lopez jumps up to the high side behind Jamie Horn. Gary Amio out in front. He's trying to lead both lines now as he moves down to the inside lane. See the 99 of Ken Byers trying to find his way. Different line here around the 7. Here comes Brandon Trush up on that high side with a run, trying to take over the top spot. Jeremia, though, trying to do everything he can to keep himself down on the bottom. But Jamie Horn, with the power move, pushes Trush up to the front, then tries to dive down underneath Lopez to try to take the lead himself as Trush going to come across the stripe here. We're going to have just one more lap in the stage. Brandon Lopez now working up on that high side. Daniel Wilkerson right behind. He's getting a push here from Ray Rittenor as they come off of turn number 2. Catching that pack, that pit just in front of them. Oh, big wreck here. Sounds like no, there was no caution. Here is the stage break, and Brandon Trush will be your winner. Jamie Horn in second. Gary Amio in third. Daniel Wilkerson, Ray Rittenor are your top 5 in the stage. And it wasn't a wreck. That second group finally caught up to the lead group. Unfortunately, it was right as the caution was coming out. Now, Brandon Trush, your stage winner. He's going to come up and catch the pace car, and then we'll have some yellow flag pit stops this time. Drivers are still going to have to enter pit road off of turn number 4. I believe we'll see everybody come down at pit road this time. Looks like our lucky dog will be the 21 of Christopher Simon. So when they come to the pit stop here, he'll be able to make his way around. So there's Christopher Simon getting his lucky dog. Nathan Lawrence going to stay on the racetrack. He's going to try to get the wave around here, get himself back up towards the lead lap. He is currently being scored, looks like 2 laps down. Well, currently 1 lap down. Now he's in front of the leaders. Brandon Trush, first one off of pit road. Jamie Horn comes off second. Ken Byers back in third. Brandon Lopez and Chris Lethwich, your top 5. Of course, you're watching the Doghouse Racing League Tuesday night ARCA series brought to you by Trackside NASCAR Outlet. Trackside NASCAR Outlet's an authorized Lionel dealer with a full line of diecast, including Cup, O'Reilly's truck, driver apparel, hats, and jackets. Trackside NASCAR Outlet offers everything NASCAR, including full-size and mini helmets, flags, and coolers. Stop by and check out their store, follow on Facebook, or check out their website at tracksidenascaroutlet.com. Of course, Doghouse Racing League and Intensity Broadcasting are both great partners of Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is established and trusted leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. Patented design makes them incredibly accurate, powerful, and virtually indestructible. The Gamer Plus is a new and upgraded sim racing haptic that reproduces immersive, accurate, and powerful sim racing, flight sim, and gaming effects. Check out the full line of Butt Kicker products. If yours is right for you, visit thebuttkicker.com. So here we go. We're getting ready to go back. Green flag racing. The lights are off on the pace car. Brandon Trush is going to be your leader. Jamie Horn to the outside. Kenneth Byers and Brandon Lopez in row 2. Chris Lethwich, Gary Amio, row 3. Ray Rittenor, Hunter Simpson, row 4. And then Daniel Wilkerson and Tyler Millette will make up row number 5. So here we go. Pace car getting ready to take the hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Brandon Trush going to lead him down to the EchoPark restart zone where the green flag will fly. And we are back racing here at EchoPark Speedway. And a great jump already from Brandon Trush up into the lead. Jamie Horn back in second. Ken Byers back in third with Brandon Lopez leading that high line with Gary Romeo, Hunter Simpson, and Josh Cully. So just past the halfway point, we're going to have about 35 laps to go when they come across the stripe next time by. Fortunately, only seen the one caution for incident here tonight. Stage break was our second caution. But some great racing here at the front as, again, we're starting to see two distinct groups really settle themselves out on the racetrack. Actually, a couple distinct groups this time. Jackson Sibley. Actually, I take that back. Bill Gentry, the last driver here in our front pack. Now we'll find our second pack, which is side by side. That's Kevin Thompson, Christopher Simon, Bill Gentry's back here. The 14 of Mark Dumont, Mike Leftwich, Nathan Lawrence in this group as well. Lawrence still being scored one lap down, so isn't Mark Dumont. As the 14 and the 97 are battling each other right now for that lucky dog spot. Just in front of them, we see Adam Gardner and Bill Gentry. Well, they were broken apart there for a second. Now they're starting to catch back up. Oh, it's the second group here. These guys are currently being scored a lap down. That's Matthew Smith and Mark Dumont. I'm sorry, Matthew Smith and Richard Leclerc. Oh, I'm going to say that again. That is Matthew Smith and Jason Ross. Jason Ross still a few laps down. So that's actually the Matthew Smith. Trying to figure out who the actual lucky dog is at this point. Looks like, yeah, it is. It's Matthew Smith in the 82 is the lucky dog at this time. But we see that back group there starting to make their way up towards the front, trying to catch up to Matt Smith. So if a caution comes out, they could be racing for the lucky dog. Meanwhile, Jamie Horn, still your leader here, being pushed by Brandon Trush, who was your stage winner. Now we've got our front four, which are single file. Chris Leftwich was able to get clear of Brandon Lopez. Now Daniel Wilkerson down to the inside of the three. Trying to continue the march forward. Wilkerson is able to clear the three. Now here comes... That's Tyler Millette down on the low side. As they go three wide, Gary Romeo in the middle. Hunter Simpson has to take abrasive, take a big move there. So now we got pretty much all single file up at the front, about 5 cars deep, till we come back to the side-by-side battle here between Daniel Wilkinson and Brandon Lopez. Ooh, the 88 of Josh Cully was sliding there for a second. Got a little sideways. Able to hold on to it, though. Great save. So a lot of double file racing on the racetrack. Currently, just this one big group. And a ways back to our second group. As the field is just coming off of turn number 3, that second group is just turning into, as the field is coming off of turn number 4, that second group was just going into turn number 3. That second group is at the line now, so that really shows how big of a gap we have here on the racetrack between these two groups. You can see it right there on the racetrack. Well, Christopher Lethwich up on the high side. Trying to get something going as we see Jamie Horn try to go up to the block side just to block it for a second. As Simon now trying to make something, Lethwich now trying to make something happen on the high side with Brandon Lopez giving the big push. And Chris Lethwich going to take the advantage away, going to take the lead away. On the high side, is he going to be able to clear Jamie Horn to get down to the low side? Not at the moment, he is not. As Horn's fighting back as we see those two rear cars really trying to push that front, and now Lethwich going to clear down in front of Jamie Horn. Some issues in the back there. We heard Nathan Lawrence got into Kevin Thompson a little bit. Try to see what happened here to Thompson. I think it was just before this. Trying to find it here. Here we go. Oh, just a big push from Lawrence. Thompson does a great job with the save. Thompson, though, unfortunately has lost the draft here as the field continues to march 2 by 2 up here at the front. Chris Lethwich now back to the high side. Jamie Horn up on the high side with him. Brandon Lopez down on the bottom. As Josh Cully thought about making the move 3 wide. Thought better of it. Tucks back in behind Christopher Simon. We have just 20 laps to go. Side by side for the lead, Jamie Horn, Christopher Leftwich. Side by side is Leftwich going to have the advantage here with a big push from Josh Cully. Little side draft going on there as Leftwich tries to get down on the door. Unfortunately got too low. Josh Cully had to back out of it just a little bit. That's going to break the momentum on that high side. And how about this? Lucas moved themselves up towards the front here. Up into the 7th position on the high side. That's a 24, Justin McMahon, who started pretty much dead last on the grid. Up 18 positions into the 8th position currently. Daniel battling side by side with Daniel Wilkerson. Another big mover here tonight. Both drivers just trying to stay out of trouble, and that is exactly what they're doing. Chris Leftwich, though, is not able to get that high lane moving like he just had it a few moments ago. I don't know if Cully is trying to cool his engine off a little bit right now or what. But he's just not on the back bumper like we saw earlier in the race. So just the one caution for cause. That's done a little bit for a strategy of some of these drivers here tonight. As Nathan Lawrence had to go back down pit road after taking that wave around, so he was not able to get himself back onto the lead lap. He's going to lose a few laps here as he is currently being scored 2 laps down. Chris Leftwich losing more time as Ken Byers now working down to the inside. Trying to take over that spot, moving Ken Byers up into the 4th position. As our top 3 starting to break away just a little bit. Leftwich thought about pulling down in front of Daniel Wilkerson, not able to make that happen. So just 14 laps to go. Josh Cully still not able to get connected there with Christopher Simon. Sorry, I keep saying that. Christopher Leftwich. I don't know why I keep saying Simon. As here we go. Now the 99. Ken Byers going to jump to the high side. He's going to try to get that top lane rolling as there's 4 cars up there now as Bill Gentry joins the mix. Can they get that top lane going? We got 13 laps to go. Lap car going to come into play here, staying up against the outside wall. That is Nathan Lawrence going to go another lap down. Oh, Chris Leftwich hard into the outside wall. That's going to break the momentum of that high side. As Bill Gentry's jumped back down to the low side and almost some contact there between Ken Byers and Justin McMahon. McMahon down to the inside. He's going to move himself up into the 7th position. But here comes that high lane starting to move themselves back forward. Ken Byers, Chris Leftwich, and the lap car of Nathan Lawrence. See one car diving down on the pit road. I believe that's Ray Rittenor. Yes, it is. Which now makes me wonder, is everybody going to make their way, be able to make it on fuel to the end? So 10 laps to go, coming to 9 laps to go. It looks like fuel might be an issue here coming down to the end. We'll have to see how these drivers are able to react here. I wonder if we'll start seeing drivers peel off for pit road here in the next couple laps, or if people are going to try to stretch it. But the way that I just saw Ray Rittenor come down pit road, it makes me wonder. Oh, here we go. Brandon Lopez coming down pit road this time. Daniel Wilkerson pit road this time as well. So this is the 60 of Michael Dow. Gary Amia, we're going to see a bunch of drivers coming down pit road right here. And here they all come, including your leader, Jamie Horn. Look at them all spread down on the pit road. And as I mentioned, no pit road speed up until the cones here. And, ooh, Daniel Wilkerson may have got a pit road penalty. I'm looking up here. See if any black flags pop up. Looks like everybody was able to get down on the pit road cleanly. Now here comes our second group of cars going to come down pit road here. Andrew St. Cor, Adam Gardner, Jackson. No, Sibley's going to come by himself. That's going to give the lead of the race to Andrew St. Cor. So I wonder if this group back here has been saving a little bit of fuel. Andrew St. Cor, Adam Gardner, Hunter Simpson. They're still rolling around the racetrack right now. Last time by was a 31:18 for St. Cor. So about a second slower than they were running earlier. Just 5 laps to go. We see them coming around the cars coming off of pit road. And currently, these are the only 3 cars. As I say that, they're hitting pit road. Here comes St. Cor and Adam Gardner and Hunter Simpson. So everybody come down pit road. I was going to say, up to that point, everybody was a lap down. And who this looks like is going to work out for probably one of the best drivers here is the 18 of Jackson Sibley. Is going to roll back here in the 4th position. He should be able, oh no, he's not going to be able to tuck down under Chris Simon. Thought he was going to be able to. Now he's going to tuck down behind Christopher Simon into the, up into what's going to be the 5th spot. So 4 laps to go as they come and catch the cars coming off pit road. That's Adam Gardner going around. How about this? Andrew St. Cor able to get off of pit road in front of the leaders. Is he going to try to throw the block here? He does throw a little bit of a block, but to no good as here comes that group flying around the outside. As Brandon Trush going to take over the lead. They come to the stripe this time. We're going to have just 2 laps to go. Brandon Trush with the lead. Here comes Jamie Horn looking to the outside of Brandon Lopez. Christopher Leftwich going to come along with the 98 of Jamie Horn, but he's going to have to fall back in line as Brandon Lopez now in the 2nd spot. Coming to the white flag this time by just 1 lap to go. as the field leaders coming up on a lap traffic as well. Lopez going to look up to the high side. He's going to try to use these cars as a pick. They're going to go 3 wide around Christopher Simon. The 6 of Kevin Thompson also involved in this. That's going to allow Trush to hold on to that top spot as Lopez had nothing better to do but had to check up. Here comes Jamie Horton. Here comes a run, though. Lopez has some drafted. Oh, the Anderson core gets turned. Big wreck behind as they come down to the stripe. It's going to be Brandon Trush, Jamie Horn, and Jackson Sibley going to get the 3rd place on the podium here tonight. Brandon Lopez just barely misses out on a podium. And then Adam Gardner going to come home in 5th. But man, what a run here for the 23 of Brandon Trush. Well, Brandon Trush going to come down and celebrate here on the front stretch. So he gets the win here at EchoPark Speedway. And what a finish here as we had an exciting last lap. We did see there was a big wreck behind our leaders here. Let me see if we can pull that up here after the celebration. So if we look here, Andrew St. Cor, excuse me, gets turned by Chris Leftwich. Leftwich, Kevin Thompson. Ooh, more drivers involved as well. Nathan Lawrence involved in that. Man, a tough ending for them there as we see the 23, Brandon Trush, burning it down against the front stretch wall here. Let's take a look at our final results. Again, Brandon Trush getting the win here tonight. Jamie Horn 2nd. Jackson Sibley comes home in 3rd. Brandon Lopez and Adam Gardner round out your top 5. Daniel Wilkerson brings home 6th. Justin McMahon in 7th. Hunter Simpson, Josh Cully, and Ray Rittner round out your top 10. 11th is Tyler Millette with Bill Gentry back in 12th. Ken Byers comes home 13th. Gary Amio and Michael Dow round out your top 15. Chris Leftwich comes home 16th. Mike Leftwich in 17th. Richard Leclerc back in the 18th position. 19th will be Andrew St. Cor and Christopher Simon round out your top 20. Matthew Smith back in the 21st position. Nathan Lawrence comes home 22nd. Kevin Thompson back in 23rd. Jason Ross, Mark Dumont 25th. Michael Samio, Stephen Bonomo, and River Weldon round out the field here tonight from EchoPark Speedway as we get ready to talk to our top 3. As we'll pull in our 3rd place finisher of Jackson Sibley first. Jackson, you got Josh on the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Man, great run for you here tonight, coming home 3rd. Thought you might have got in a little bit of trouble there at the end with the line they were choosing. You almost was able to stay out in front of the leaders coming off pit road. Pitting with just a few laps to go, that's always stressful. Talk us through your race, your strategy, and especially that last pit stop there.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy with the pit strategy. I was playing it patient all race. I knew that there was going to be more action, whether it was the stage caution or some more natural cautions, which didn't show up today, which was pretty awesome. Didn't really have anybody to pit with, so I was kind of trying to predict when most of the people were going, and I missed it, and decided to go the next lap and would see what would happen. And I got a good pit entry. I felt like I kept some speed, and I was able to almost come out in front of the leaders, but I was pretty happy with where I ended up, and then just ended up making the right moves, playing Frogger through the traffic on the last lap there, and wound up 3rd.
Yeah, that last lap was wild with the lap cars kind of right there. Nothing that they did wrong. They were trying to stay out of the way. It looked like the best they could. Just coming up on them, trying to use them as picks. It was a wild finish there. You say you're playing Frogger there. I'm sure the grip on the steering wheel was a little bit tighter, especially with the lack of cautions we saw tonight. I'm sure you're thinking one was going to come out there towards the end.
Yeah, I was thinking that there was going to be one. Honestly, I thought there was going to be one before we'd need to pit when everybody was still together. And when one didn't come, that kind of just unleashed the gates for craziness. And all the lap guys did a good job. They were just getting out of the way, and we were using them as picks. And I couldn't tell who was lapped, who was not. I was just trying to stay fast and find an open lane. And it all worked out. Pretty crazy. It's ironic that this race was one of the ones that had a lack of cautions, and I'm just glad I didn't clip the grass and send it to the inside wall like last week. So
no, I wasn't going to bring it up, but you did. So next week we go short track racing. We move on to Iowa Speedway. How do you like your chances there?
I'm excited. I love old Iowa. I don't know how much speed I have there, but track's a joy to drive, so I'm excited to get some practice in and go out and compete next week.
Well, Jackson, awesome job here tonight coming home P3. Before we let you go, then, anyone want to thank? Any shout-outs you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout-out Dirty Bird Designs. Hunter Geyer makes all my paints. He made this beautiful paint that I've been rocking the past couple weeks. I got a different one coming out next week by Dirty Bird Designs. I'm excited to show off. So, yeah, I'd like to thank him. I'd like to thank my teammates from my other league that show me support in the chat and come out race with me every week and help iron sharpen iron.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on the third place here tonight. Good luck next week at Iowa, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again soon.
Sweet. Thanks, Josh.
Have a great
Appreciate
night.
you.
You as well. Have a great
you
night.
As well.
So that was third place finisher Jackson Sibley. Let's bring in your second place finisher here tonight, Jamie Horn. Jamie, you got Josh up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Man, a wild race here tonight. You put yourself up towards the front, and fortunately was able to stay out of the mess. Not a lot of cautions here tonight. I think just one for incident here tonight, if I remember correctly, which is fantastic for the racing. But I know it threw a wrench in a lot of people's strategies. Talk us through what was going through your mind here. I'm sure you thought we were going to have a couple more cautions than that here tonight.
Yeah, I really expected there would be a few more cautions. I'm glad there wasn't. Really, since I'm not racing for points this season, I just was trying to just stay up front and miss anything that might happen, and then not cause anything that would mess up anybody that is going for points. So it ended up working out. Just kind of stayed up at the front all night, and I was kind of wondering how the pit strategy was going to work there at the very end, where we were going to come out and how that'd play out. But it ended up working out pretty much perfect, and the lap cars there at the end kind of it's one of those when me, Trush, and Lopez was catching them. I really didn't know which lane I was going to go with. It's kind of like split second, go back down behind Trush and kind of help push him to the win there, because that was all I had. Once we got just me and him single file like we were, there was nothing I could do. I would have never got a run to get around him. So good job to him. It was a fun race, really.
Yeah, it looked like a fun race, especially with those lap cars there at the end. A lot of wildness there. Even a little bit of wildness in the middle of the pack there. They saw cars bouncing off each other. Saw a lot of net code, unfortunately, out there tonight as well. So next week, we move on to Iowa Speedway. We go a little short track racing. Number one, are you going to be racing next week? I know you said you weren't racing for points this season.
Yeah. So I'm going to race all the races. I'm just, since I won the championship last season, I elected to not run for points this season, to let others battle it out and just give other people an opportunity this season. So I chose just to hang back. Now, I didn't know we were going to have 28, 29 cars every week, or I might have stayed in it. But Iowa, I love Iowa. That's one of my favorite tracks. So I think it'll be a fun one and a good one. And I just hope we can have a race that kind of went like this one tonight with little cautions.
Awesome, man. Well, good luck next week at Iowa. Of course, before we let you go, anyone want to thank you? Shout you got to give here tonight?
Oh, yeah. Shout out to you for the broadcast. Shout out to Daniel and all the admins that keep the league going. Trackside NASCAR Outlet for the series sponsorship. all our other sponsors, Nap Daddy Designs, Butt Kicker, SSR Designs, Group 6, Shoney's, everybody that helps sponsor the league. We appreciate that. Special shout out to Jonathan Smith at home. I know he has some things going on, so sending prayers his way. And shout out my mom at home watching.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on the runner-up finish. Good luck next week in Iowa. I know you're still trophy hunting, so hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Yes, sir. Have a good night.
You as well. So that was your second place finisher, Jamie Horn. Let's bring in the man of the hour, Brandon Trush. Brandon, you got Josh up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Man, what a wild finish there. Coming out of pit road out in front and able to hold on to that top spot with a hard-charging Jamie Horn, especially with those lap cars right there in front of you. A bunch of different strategies, pit stops, green flag pit stops here are wild. Man, it was just a wild race overall. Talk us through your race there, and especially those last few laps.
Yeah. You know, towards the end there, I knew that last pit stop, I was going to have to try to make up something on the entry to pit lane since it's so long and you can kind of pretty much rip it around that corner, and got in front of Lopez and behind Jamie. And I think Jamie had some issues there in his pit stall. Came out and, you know, I was up front just, you know, hoping that, you know, seeing who was behind me. I had Lopez and Jamie behind him, and you know, being a teammate of Jamie, I knew he would help me if I needed it. And thank God he was right there because I kind of needed it coming out at 2 on the last lap. And, you know, made it through those cars, kind of pushed him up high into Lopez's way, and, you know, end up getting the win out of the deal. So got to be happy about that.
Absolutely, especially with, like I said, the lack of cautions here tonight. I know this league isn't really known for their cautions. I know the first 4 races have been kind of caution filled, and to come to a place like this where you're side by side slip sliding around, I kind of expected to see a few more, but the race was incredibly clean. Did that kind of throw you guys for a loop a little bit here tonight?
You know, last night practicing, we were taking bets on how many cautions we were going to have tonight just from the beginning of this season. We're training into this race and seeing how it was going to go. And to be honest with you, I was in the double digits of the numbers on my bet. So everybody was real surprised that, you know, we got a stage caution. I think the first one of the year, we got our act together and got the cars around there and keeping them out of the walls for the most part. So, you know, it kind of came into play. This is kind of the first long green flag runs we've had. So it was really fun.
Well, I'm sure they're going to pump up those numbers next week as we move on to a short track with Iowa. Not trying to downplay. Like I said, this is one of the cleanest leagues I've ever announced in my life. It's the start of this season has been very rare, so I'm not trying to rank on the league at all. So please don't take it that way. But
no, not at all.
Next week, you guys move on to Iowa with a nice short track, repaved. Much like Atlanta, so going to be a completely different experience out there. How do you like your chances next week?
Honestly, me and Iowa have a love-hate relationship. I can get a late model car around there very well. The ARCA cars, I haven't raced there too much, so it's going to be a learning experience for me until next week to try to see what the tires do. See how, I know you said repave, but it's only like maybe a turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So. Hopefully that helps out with some tire wear and we get another good clean race, you know, fingers crossed on that, and we'll see what happens.
Awesome, man. Well, good luck next week at Iowa. Of course, before we let you go here, Brandon, anyone you want to thank, any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, man. Thanks to Clem Speed Shop, always putting the name on the car. Jonathan over at Nap Daddy for doing my paint schemes up. The guys on the team for the practice, of course, you doing the great things you do up in the booth, and all the guys in the league and Doghouse.
Awesome, man. Well, again, thank you for your kind words. Again, congratulations on the win. Good luck next week in Iowa, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you, sir.
Have a great night.
Yep, you too.
Well, there you have it. There's your winner, Brandon Trutch. Getting it done here tonight with the race off of pit road and winning here at EchoPark Speedway. Again, thanks for everybody who joined in here tonight. Watch this live. Don't forget, if you are watching live, hit that like button, follow and subscribe, hit that little notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcast. And we've got racing for you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night here on Intensity. Of course, don't forget to visit our great partners as well. Links down below in the description. Butt Kicker, for their gaming haptics. Trackside NASCAR Outlet, the series sponsor, of course, the Doghouse Racing League website, our website over Intensity Racing. The support really does mean a lot to all of us. And of course, we hope to see you again next week. So I forgot to say at the start of the race, and I apologize, but to all our veterans out there, happy Veterans Day. Thank you for everything you do. We support you, and thank you for your service, for all those who served. And I wish I would have said that at the beginning of the race. I completely got caught up in this awesome racing here tonight. But we will see you next week right here on Intensity Broadcast. As our boy Matt